Hey y'all, welcome to the Atlanta Dreamin' Pod. I'm Joshua, ENFP Hoops, joined as always by AmbeeWrites.
What's up?
Sunday did not go as planned.
It did not.
I want to start with you. I just want to hear your thoughts. You were at the game.
I was.
Just start wherever you want.
Well, I checked in on playback at halftime, and I was feeling, I was like,
you were telling me not to stress.
I was telling you not to stress because I didn't want to stress. That was the whole thing. You stay calm, I'll stay calm. You're already telling me like, no, no, because from watching on TV, I'm pretty sure it was how to get you, right? They get you in the stands. They get all, you got all the people around you. You have all of the excitement of the first game of the season at home, right? So it lures you into a false sense of hope that things are gonna be a little different. But
I get it, because you have like a arena full of players, minus the large crowd cheering for Alea Boston and Alicia Gray, equally the same. But for the most part,
it was all love. It was all love. We love the fans.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, it's all love.
I'm just, I was worried this was going to happen. Like, I was just like, if they're going to figure it out, please not against us.
And they did. And I must say, like, there were so many things that bothered me about this game. The rebounding was probably paramount. It was number one. Because what the hell was the rebounding? Like, watching it in real time, live, I'm like, they can't get a board for...
Especially the second half.
Especially the second half. It got the gap widened so much. That one should have tightened up. And I'm sitting up here looking like, so what are we doing? And then we're leaving Melissa Smith open. Like, wow. Like she was cooking us.
And I knew the game was over. Mm-hmm. Like I just had a feeling the Fever were going to win. That Melissa Smith shot clock buzzer beater. Like I was like, okay, this is not going to go as planned. And then Vivian's hit a contested three not too long after. I'm like, this is their night. We were missing bunnies.
Were. Very much so. And I am just still... I'm upset. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, and the thing about it is, the craziest part about the whole thing is that Ryan, Alicia, and Cheyenne had great games, and it still wasn't enough.
I was just about to bring that up. We said we were waiting for them to get in sync,
and they clicked it.
Cheyenne had 21, Alicia had 19, and Ryan had 23, and it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough because nobody else stepped up.
Yeah,
that's the major thing. Like I'm not saying that we need a fourth scorer, but I'm saying by committee we should have been able to pull that win out. Like if they, that was like 65 points that they accounted for, or maybe more. Because I'm trying to do math in my head, quick math where I can remember. It was about 65 points, and the rest of the team, come on, like what's going on?
63 points.
Like
and what sucks is I was just complaining about the Wings doing this in the first game with Enrique, Satu, and Natasha against us, and we were just as dependent. And man,
I don't know how to feel. Like I can't say it's one.
And thanks for joining Lakin and Glenn. We're definitely getting plenty of stuff.
Hi, how are y'all? But I have so like their hands weren't active on defense, no deflection.
One thing I want to go back to: the first 5 minutes of the game is what I was expecting this whole season. Like it was contested shots the whole time. We were having great rotations. The offense had movement. Ari did a drive, dished it back out to Alicia. I was like, wow, it's going to click with this roster. It's coming. We just needed to get home. We got up by 10 points. And after that, like, I just knew it wasn't going to go. Like, I just was like, okay, it's going to change after halftime. That's what we did against the Wings. Lynx, it took us a little longer, but we'll get it at like the end of the second quarter and stuff and pull away. And it never happened. After that first 5 minutes of the game, it just never got fully into sync. And Steph brought up a really good point. It felt like it was individual players putting up their numbers, and we weren't having that cohesiveness. We only had it really that first 5 minutes, like, because it would be times like, okay, we're gonna initiate Cheyenne. Okay, we're gonna initiate Alicia. We're gonna initiate Ryan. Like, it didn't get to the Like, I don't know. I watched the Sky Wings after. It just frustrated me so much because both teams had like these excellent pass rotations where like drives to the basket and dishing it back out and continuing the rotation from there that created better opportunities and in rhythm shots. And we just, man, I know we have some new players, but we have a decent amount of players from last season still on the team. We have vets. Yeah. And Lakin, yeah.
We need I told y'all in the past, Ari is a 2, not a 1. That's just not her. I don't know how many times I gotta say it. Like, there's no knock on her at all because she's a good player, but it's just she does not run the offense well. Not like a point guard should.
And I got a thing with multiple players. Like right now, Ari, she's putting herself in, like, positional wise, she's where she's supposed to be. She's making herself bigger. But the steals are drastically off from last season. Like last year, she was like top 15 throughout the entire season. She was making that impact. And right now, like, it hasn't been a part of the game. So I don't know what's going into that. But yeah, she hasn't gotten a single steal, which, that is definitely not normal for her. That's one of the things like that is most consistent. The shooting hasn't been there. Like, and again, like the first quarter, the first 5 minutes, she had 2 really good passes, and then she got one assist the rest of the way. And like Lakin said, point guard plays a big difference in getting into rhythm and making that first pass. And like Haley's per 40 minutes, I showed you her stats. They looked really good, but she still isn't into rhythm either.
No.
But she's getting close to the same amount of assists. She's making a bigger impact on rebounding and like doing well in defense. Like, I do not think there is not enough of a difference right now between Ari and Haley where it should be 30 minutes to 10. That's where it was, and that was my prediction before the game. Want to give myself props. But like it wasn't sinking. Like we every single game we go through cold spurts where it doesn't work out. The defense, I thought like we would contest shots. The most frustrating thing is we would have like a really good possession, force them to the shot clock, and then they would get a rebound, sometimes 2 rebounds on the same possession. Like, we were out rebounded like 42-28, something like that.
Exactly.
Like,
it's ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's what it was. Something crazy. It really doesn't make sense to me to have all these really good rebounders. We not getting to the ball. Like urgency.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not. Everything is not fine right now. It's not. It's like time to panic. I'm sorry. is it time to panic? I just want to know. I'll hit the panic button like whenever you're ready. Because
the thing is, I think we're going to be competitive enough to keep close in games. Again, the rebounding, I have thoughts on the lineup I'm going to be bringing up. I have a different lineup that I would bring, but it is not good when two of your leading rebounders are not a 4 and 5. We got Alicia Gray is leading with 7 rebounds. Cheyenne's at 6.3, and then Ryan Howard's at 6. Like, and then per 40, Haley Jones leads, Naz Hillman, and Cheyenne Parker. So I'll just jump in the lineups really quick. This is going to be. This might be a little harsh. If there's not a lineup change on Tuesday, this is echoing 2021. Flat out.
Oh, no.
Because we kept the same lineup. Things weren't working out. And we kept going with the same thing. Expecting different results. Trying to win the lottery. I don't know. But if we do not make a change on Tuesday against the Sky, because the starting lineup has not been clicking. But there has to be at least some change. Right. You know how much I love Nia. Like, she's been doing well at getting blocked. Like, she's still shooting really well from three.
Coming off the bench.
Exactly. Like, what she's providing, it's giving bench for right now. And she can get back into that role, but you can't tell me right now with the production that's a starting 4 right now. That should be the starting 4 when you have Naz Hillman the last 2 games in a row. She's getting 10 points, and she's playing the most minutes of any player at the 4, too. Like, because Tanisha's seeing it, that Naz is being the most effective and keeping her in the longest over Monique and Nia. So, yeah. And I agree, Billings should have played more minutes, too, but she was quiet.
She was.
Like, I don't even remember like a lot she did. I know Naz is undersized, but her big thing is positioning. Like, she gets herself into the right spot. Like, she tips it to another player. Like, she's got good instincts. It's worth giving her a shot. She started games with us last year, and it turned out fine. Like, at this point, we just got to try different things than what we're doing.
Absolutely. It's concerning for me.
And like Lakin said earlier, the Fever, it's not like they were playing incredible. Like, they were playing good.
No,
but we had
that's
times.
The wildest part.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, it seemed like we had control almost for much of the game until the second half. It was just like, okay, well, making a run, but it's still like hanging in there. Like, they were being tough.
And it just felt like it was going to change because, like, at different moments, certain players would be taking over the game for us. Like, at some point, Cheyenne couldn't be stopped. At some points, Alicia couldn't be stopped. At some points, Ryan. And it just
all 3 of them.
It's still like they all contributed at the same time, but it still felt like they weren't making an impact at the same time. If that makes sense. Like, we're not at the point where it's like, oh, who's going to be getting the ball? Ryan, Alicia, and Cheyenne. But it still didn't feel like that. It was still felt like who has the hot hand, what's working right now. Like,
very true. You're right. It was wild to watch. Like, and I still, like, you know, that eye test. I'm leaning towards Haley starting at this point.
And I don't think I highly doubt that. I'm fine with Aries starting again.
I doubt it. Okay, I'll give you that. But I just need something to change.
Jewel, who is acting like because the Dream fans I talk to, the Dream fans in my circle, they ain't okay. I'm just letting you know that my Dream circle,
nobody's
we're not feeling great. We're going to be going over that in the power rankings more, but 18-point comeback win over the Lynx, and then
They're the Lynx.
The Fever, like, I'm sorry, I think they're going to be a good team, but how they played before, something I was saying on Playback, Amber, the longer you keep a team like that, especially a young team, in it, they're going to get a hunger that they weren't able to have in other games. Like,
It's very true. It's very true. Are you good, Jewel? You're good.
No, I'm happy you have some optimistic Dream fans, because I have not spoken to any who are feeling good right now. Especially with the schedule ahead, which we're going to be talking about too.
That's why I'm so afraid. That's why I want to hit the
this was supposed to be the time. And I said the first 4 games were important, but the Sky are looking good.
Really
so that they are no longer looking like fringe playoff team. I think they're clear top 6. Solid. So we're playing them on Tuesday. Is that a sellout crowd too?
I'm not sure. I don't think so because it's a Tuesday. Usually, middle of the week games don't do as well, but it's gonna be a bunch of Friday games coming up. So
I was about to go on a rant that I didn't think we were loud enough that opener, but I'm not, because we got to be winning to bring the fans in and stuff, and for me to back it up.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be the stepping on feeling season, and instead they are stepping on mine. They are stepping on Amber, stepping on Steph, and just Dream fans who were expecting more. It's just very hard.
hurt.
The Sky are where the Dream Lake and yeah, it's rough.
It's just it hurts. It hurts.
No, Glenn, I really thought you guys were going to improve. I had you preseason 6, but I just didn't think it was going to click until later on, and I didn't feel like it was fully clicking in last game. Like, there were times where it was not very good basketball on either side. Like, both teams would have a couple possessions in a row of not very good possessions. And this isn't to be mean, because again, this league is so talented. These are the best players in the world. But there were times where it was hard to watch for both teams, and it's are we just it felt like the Lynx game where it's let's just hurry up and get a win and get out. Because, man, I will say the Fever, like you said, got it more together in the fourth quarter. Like that Grace Berger and one that Glenn was talking about her. Oh,
my feelings got stepped on because it was rough.
What drove me the most nuts, Amber?
What?
The Fever were not clicking before that play. Like, they had gone a little bit without getting a big bucket. They inserted someone who had only played 4 minutes in the game, and it made the difference. They brought someone in. Hey, let's try this. And it worked. It was a big play for them, and it was one of the difference makers. It brought them momentum. Yeah. And I just not feeling that same thing. I feel like we make the adjustments in the third quarter, but I don't remember Nas being there at the end of the game when she was one of the bigger impact players.
Now that I think about it, I didn't remember seeing her either.
So it's
it's rough. And then also, the offense, mentioned earlier, the offense was not clicking like it should have been. It was more like a here you go.
Exactly.
I feel like it really wasn't the focal point almost, because even though they went to her for the last shot, it's now everybody knows she's gonna get the last shot.
So what Coach Wright said in the post-game conference, there was a play for another player first that didn't work out. Ryan was relied upon to take that last shot and everything. And
not the first option is what I'm hearing.
That's what it felt like to me. And like you said, it's really hard. Ryan is clutch. She's done this over and over and over in her career. She can knock down that shot. I wouldn't have been surprised if she had knocked down the shot to send the game to overtime.
Yep.
But there's a difference between, the 2021 Liberty game that we saw where there was that excellent screen by Elizabeth Williams to get Courtney Williams the game-winning shot. there wasn't that for Ryan, where like it was like, okay, well, like you were saying, her being the focal, like let's give her an opening to either like
get a wide open shot or like give her,
or at least give her like a lane to like to settle herself in, get her footing and knock it down. Or like or
it was
just
no
where
rhythm
she
to
is.
that shot. That's the reason it was partially blocked. There was a reason.
No, and she did not get a screen on that shot. So
like watching it live, I was like, yeah, this is not going to even, I was watching it thinking like, oh, hell. It was just so, like, even though she was trying to get in rhythm, like, she couldn't get in rhythm because nobody was moving. Everybody just standing around watching. Like, you can't.
And then the Alicia layup was so heartbreaking. And then the overturned foul.
Oh, man.
I could see it going either way, but like when they showed the close-ups, I didn't see enough contact. Like if it was the other way around and it was a Fever player like Melissa Smith making that same play and there was just a little contact, I wouldn't want the foul either. If I'm saying that I want refs to let the players play, I can't say that I want that foul for us. I can't. Like it just should have been a shot that was made, and Alicia has made over and over again, and that it's not going to happen much more often this season where that shot doesn't fall. But but again, it's just
really
back to the individual moments thing. Like it's just I wish there was a stat to see like how many times a player touches the ball each possession, like how many how many players touch it in a given possession, because it was not helping. It was just not coming. And we'll talk of me here too for sure, Jewel.
Oh, I have thoughts on that too.
I'm sure you do, and I do too. Repair comes back the earliest June 25th. Her tourney for Eurobasket starts on June 15th and then goes at the latest June 25th, and then she would join us, I'm assuming, shortly after that. So, yeah.
This is rough.
So I talked about Nas. You talked about Haley. Do you? So you want Haley started right now?
I feel like
okay. What's behind that? Okay.
Because watching for me, from my perspective, you can see how much more the ball moves when Haley is in the game. The ball, it rarely ever sticks. It's more of a continuity. Like things are moving,
and there's purpose in her movements. Shaking. Like she's trying to.
There is purpose in her movement.
Like trying to make the defense move, so there's openings elsewhere to make the feed and everything. I see what you're saying.
Because
and at times,
and then boom.
And at times, like if Ari does this, we're gonna be fine with it. Like it's not that we're like, okay, we want Haley in as soon as possible because we liked her from the draft. No, like we've seen Ari have those moments. It just it is not happening consistently. In the Minnesota Lynx game, it went completely dry in the first half and the start of the second half, and then it started clicking a little more once she got back in. This time it was the first quarter, and then it didn't really come back the rest of the game. Like it's not enough. I understand there are other things that need to elevate, but point guard is such a huge point of what's going to be your scheme, your rhythm, and your offense and everything, and being able to get the looks that you want. And I honestly do not think there's a way that Haley is going to start. I've agreed with what everybody said in playback and when we've gone in these things. I think she's going to get like 10 games. When Robinson comes back, I don't think they're going to start her right away because they want to ease her back in. But I know we were not expecting her to be injured. That definitely hurts things too. But
there's so much going on. But then also Nas, right? Nas also is giving, like, I feel like she should have been starting anyway.
Yeah, we were calling for it before the season. I felt like it was going to be Nia. And I was like, okay, let's give her a run because she was good last season. But both of us since AU, timeout. just keeping on Nas. Her confidence in that long range jumper, like it's not a 3-point jumper, just right around like free throw line distance. She's hitting it without hesitation. Meant to ask her at the end of last game, but asked too late to get to it, so I'll ask her again to get her response on that. But that confidence has improved, and she is turning into a really good player, because if she didn't have that range, her max was going to be like Monique Billings type thing, where like get really good at rebounding, have some moves inside scoring. She would be a little better scoring than Monique, but yeah, it would have been like fringe starter throughout her career, and her just adding that jump shot, like it has me having a lot of confidence that she could be a part of this foundation. Like she's at the 4, and then we have one more season of Cheyenne at the 5, and then maybe it's a prospect that takes that position, someone we get in free agency, but I'm feeling really good about Alicia, Ryan, and Nas, like just both players from last year's draft. And yeah, but huge questions at point guard. And then our depth, like AD was feeling like so confident in those first 2 games, and like someone else that was giving us 10 points, and they were turning down shots, and they had looks that I've seen them knock down so far this season, and they were making that extra pass. And
there's so much that could be done at this point, because like we have time to adjust, but we should adjust like sooner rather than later, because these next games are games that you want to like go in without your best game. Just saying.
And Amber, you can answer this one too. I still think we made the best decision between AD and Leah. Like AD has shown out in the minutes they had. Like this game didn't go as well, but they still showed enough the first 2 games on both ends. Like they were active on defense, and I loved it. I see why we made the decision. Like, and they're just such like a good Atlanta story. Like they were in the very first Atlanta Dream commercial. It feels full circle. This is a former lottery pick. Yeah, it was going to come down between then, like, and there's no one else that, unless I guess we could have dropped Kubai, but then, I guess we could have done that, but
we could have
with how low she played, and we both liked her the first game. We both liked Kubai, like in the minutes she had. Like I thought she was good on defense and consistent rebounding. I think she got a block. Like it's weird she hasn't played these last 2 games, and
her again, like just getting left on the bench.
Coach Wright like earned her way to where she is now. Like she played really hard. Like I think it's like 14 seasons she played. Assistant with the Aces, and then getting to the Dream. Like she deserved to have this opportunity. But yeah, I have questions on player usage as well. Like
lots of questions,
because it wasn't. It's not like if we're clicking and then rhythm, like we're playing like we did the first part of the first quarter. It's a different story. I understand not wanting to put other players in, but when you're getting that, like that much out rebounded,
it's like.
You need
it's like, why not inject some new blood just to see how it goes?
Especially since that's where our depth is. Kubai and Amee here, who
I don't get it.
Like it started.
Even if you want to, you could always plug Amee here, almost anywhere, just to see where she sticks the best. Honestly, I wouldn't mind running her at the 3 a little bit. I wouldn't mind it. See how it works. Like, why not?
Yeah, and what bugs me,
I don't get it.
She was so good in the first preseason game. I know it's preseason, but this is somebody who played on the international stage too. Like we were talking about, like this is someone who has experience making an impact in short amount of time. Like takes advantage of the minutes she's given. Like she has so much athleticism. I
want to see it. Like I just want to see it in a pro game. In like a
and I understand it took Nas just because it took those players longer to get in doesn't mean that it's the right decision.
It doesn't,
Just
because
because
when
it's
Nas
happened in the
finally
past
jumped
and lots
in,
of other coaches have done it, doesn't mean that this is the right decision. To me, it didn't prove a point that Cheyenne didn't get a lot of minutes, even though she played in 30 games. Like, I don't know if she even had a do not play in her career, but
that was
Nas had
probably
some,
like
but
maybe
I didn't
4
even
games.
think it was right back then. We were waiting for her, and
No,
we only really
because
got
then when she
her.
played, it was like
Oh,
once
you're
she
breaking
actually
up.
played.
There we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me? But
Yeah.
yeah, like when she actually started playing, it's like, oh, like she should have been playing. I feel like it's gonna be the
Exactly.
same
And
exact thing.
correct me if I'm wrong, her opportunity came from injuries. We had Nia out, we had Monique out,
Yes.
like, and that opened that spot up for her, and she took advantage. Like, I don't feel like, and I hope I'm wrong. I want to be proven wrong. And again,
Yes.
to me, how I'm going to be proven wrong is on Tuesday we have a different player at the 4. Flat out. So if we don't have
Just
that,
saying.
it feels like
We're gonna get ate
similar
up.
vibes to teams that did not do so well for us. And we're just starting from ground one instead of having the optimism and like chemistry that I know we can have. Because, man, Ryan and Alicia have been competing, like they've been making plays on both ends. It's again just we're not seeing them play together, and like we want to see it. Like, I want to see two of them get touches. Like, I don't like this one pass and then we stand still type offense. Like, there weren't a lot of drives. Like, I forgot who mentioned it in our chat, but there weren't a lot of drives, and that's what was like effective for Ryan at the end of last season. Like, it was a mix of her taking 3-point jumpers and setting up plays for her to get inside. Like, and I just
go inside. Absolutely.
And
right.
It's not just Ryan either. Like, the only consistent slasher right now is Alicia. Cheyenne is like, she's already in the paint pretty much when she gets the ball. I'm talking about people who like make an initiative
on the
to
perimeter,
get it like outside the free throw line on the perimeter and drive to the basket. The only one who's doing that consistently right now is Alicia.
You're
right.
That's
just it's not going to work. Right. And speaking of Alicia, I was speaking to Ghost GM about this, and I believe I brought it up to you too. But I would not mind Alicia Gray starting at point guard.
You know what?
Had that big game at the first game. She takes those drives to the basket. She is one of the most consistent players at getting to the paint and dishing it back out when the defense is strong. Like, to me, she is. I know she's not a true point guard. It would not be what we want for like the long-term future. But right now, with Robinson out, I say give it a shot.
Yeah, why not? Mix it up, because like honestly, we got spots to fill. Like, if you got to throw AD in the starting lineup and let Alicia run the point, do it.
Because we've done 3-guard lineups before. We could do.
We have
Alicia, AD, Ryan, or if you want to keep Ari in there, Alicia, Ari, Ryan. Like, have Alicia run the point.
Yep.
And then Ari's passing doesn't have to be the focal point. She can still be another guard that can dish it out, but it wouldn't be the thing that we're depending her on to set the pace for us and make the first initial right read. Like, and like, she can score. She can knock down 3-pointers. She can drive. Like, I don't know. I don't think we're going to do it.
No, we're not going to do it. But
which sucks. Like, I hate feeling like this, and I want to trust the vision, because again, I've liked how we put this roster together. I've liked how the team looks. I like how the players have talked about Tanisha as a coach, but like,
they really seem to like her. And that's
but we need results. Like, this season that like has not gone according to plan. And in preseason, I wasn't worried. Like, it's just preseason, and it's every single game has looked like those, though, where it seems like this is why I'm worried. We're going to be going into this in the power rankings too. But if the preseason games were an indicator, we played the Sun and the Mystics, and they are two teams that handled us pretty good. I know we were playing our bench and everything. The Sun weren't. Like, I was giving them a lot of trash for that. They still deserved it. But yeah, they handled us, and now we're playing teams like the Sky are in that category of teams that are going to be really hard to beat. You got the Sun, you got the Liberty, you got the Aces that we're all playing coming up in 6 games featuring those teams. Like, if we don't get it together now, like, this could be really ugly, and we seriously could be 1-8 going into the next game against the Fever. Like, if we don't change. And I don't think we're going to get blown out, but it's just, I just don't feel like we have the rhythm to win games right now against those upper echelon teams. Like, I don't think we're going to get blown out, but could I see us losing by like 8-10 to these teams? Yeah. Like, and it's a different player that just kills us. And I feel like we don't make those adjustments to stop that player from knocking down shots. And last game, it was primarily Nalissa and Alea, like, who had their way. Like, I was telling you all that they're going to be a really good front court tandem. Like, it started in Atlanta, and I hate that start with us. And another thing, Indiana would have broken the record, the WNBA record for most consecutive losses, and it ended with us. That sucks. And I was saying it before the game, like, we're the type of team where, like, I remember lots of people broke their records off Atlanta. Like, I remember Sylvia Fowles got something with us. Like, she got, like, a certain point milestone with us. And it happened with, like, different players. I'm like, this is something that's going to end with us. I hope not, but, like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, love me.
And I want to love me or let me leave, but I want to be shown, like, what we're getting so far. Like, we're playing the bottom of the league.
Gauntlet. Yeah, and we're barely scraping by with the bottom of the league.
If you look at our schedule, like, it's...
And we're about to get, like, the craziest next, 5 to 10 games. It's going to be really crazy. And I haven't seen nothing that makes me excited right now. I'm just saying. It's not that we don't have faith.
I hope it comes together. And again, we know we have the pieces to win. Like, again, we know we have it. Like, I had them at number 2. Amber had them at number, I believe, 4 to start the season. Like,
we
both believe this can be a home court advantage team. It's just the pieces clicking, and it has to happen quick. This isn't like last season where we were able to start 7-2 and we were playing what ended up, we didn't know at the time, but it ended up being teams that were either at the bottom trying to compete for a playoff spot or were lottery teams. And we don't get that this season. Like, it's the Sky, Aces, Liberty, Sun, Liberty, Sun.
That's rough.
And those final 5 games are all against top 3 teams. Like, they're the top 3 in my power rankings, and we're playing them 5 games in a row. So that's the reason we have them losing so many, like, having a chance for this to get ugly, Jewel. If we were playing other teams, like if we were playing the Wings again, like if we were playing even the Fever again and we get in better rhythm, or the Lynx, teams like that, I feel like we could get it together more and have time. But like, this is probably the toughest stretch of our season. I believe the Sky are beatable too, but
they are beatable.
They've looked better than what I thought. I thought they were going to be fringe playoff team, and I had them being a lottery team, and it's not looking that way.
Exactly.
Like, it could change, and again, we could change really quick too. It's just, it hasn't come together yet. And when we play against the Lynx and Fever, and it takes an 18-point comeback against the Lynx, and then we lose to the Fever at home, we're not going to have a lot of confidence. Like,
exactly. That's the roughest part for me.
So I will be more than happy to go on the bandwagon again. Like, when we win,
I'm not off of it. I'm not off of it at all. But I'll really need to see.
Like, neither of us would be surprised if it started working
it turns
out
all the way around.
And it would be incredible if it happened playing these teams. And then there would be no doubt, if we're able to get to even like 4 and 5 playing the schedule that we're playing now, like, I will have all the confidence in the world. But like,
being an Atlanta sports fan is it's a biblical type of commitment, and we go through ups and downs.
Apparently,
But I mean, we love our teams. We love our teams dearly, but we want to see something. And yes, it's only
exactly.
3
And we
games
have the
in,
roster.
but
We went
you can
out
tell
and
a
got
lot.
Alicia, and she's been everything and advertised and more. Like, and then we had one of the best drafts.
Yeah.
And I would be.
Losing.
I'll just put it mildly. Like, I would be using those players differently, especially when it's not clicking like right now. If things were going well, we would not be questioning as much. Like, if we start winning these games, you're not going to hear us talking for like massive lineup decisions and everything. Exactly. But again, this was against two teams that are projected to be towards the bottom of the league, and so far they're looking like they're going to be. And yeah.
It can turn around. I just want to see it.
That's what we're waiting for, and we hope it starts on Tuesday. Like, oh,
yeah.
But yeah.
Give me 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Yeah, you're okay. But yeah. Okay. Like, I would move Nia to the 3, like you were saying. Give her minutes there. She can still like get some minutes between the 3 and 4, but primarily it comes at the 3. Like, she gets like 10 minutes a game at the 3 and then some at the 4. Monique splits between the 4 and 5, and
it could work. It could work.
But the biggest thing was rebounding. If we're not getting the results that we want, I don't believe it's effort. I'm not calling on that, but when it's just not clicking for players, like, again, these are the best players in the league. Queen Egbo, we both really like her, but we were in position
really well.
But we were in position to get more of those. Sometimes we were even competing with each other for balls, and like at that point, you should just try to bring something in. So it's like scoring. It's the same type of thing. If it's not working on the glass, bring someone in who can just start doing that momentum. They don't even have to stay in the rest of the game or for long chunks. But just try to change the trajectory of what's happening. Like,
just see what works.
And let me leave. I'm thinking like I was rounding. Like, I want Ryan playing a good amount, so I want it at like 34, 33. But I'm just saying like Nia's primary minutes coming at the 3 for right now. Because the same rebounding that she had on the defensive glass last season just has not been there so far this season. And again, I will struggle if Nas is not starting. I don't think Haley's going to start Jewel Bell. I will settle for more playing time if it does not go well off the bat. Like, give her like the first 5 minutes again to see if it's going to click again. If we fall into a big hole or the offense is just non-sync, give Haley a run. Like, I'm at the point where, like, again, we're playing against tough teams. We don't have time, to just stick with what's going and it eventually grows. Like, I know it's early in the season. It's a 40-game season, but if you start off 1-8, that's really hard.
You got to be cold.
That is really hard to come by.
And you can always go on the streak.
You could, but that is so hard. Like, no matter the culture, no matter like the vibes in the room and everything, like, it's just hard to be staring at that record and then come ready to play the next game. And I just don't want that. So again, we're going to either prove that this is going to be a different team than last season, or we're going to be staring at a long road ahead on trying to claw back in. So it's just rough. How would you initiate a me here if you were going to play her?
If I had to do it personally,
and like, I don't think so.
Give her some run. Maybe let's see. I would give her a little bit of room to run at the 4, just a couple minutes, and then maybe when I take Ryan out, maybe initiate her around playing some 3 minutes.
Let me leave. I like your confidence. And again, if we were playing different teams, I'm not saying that. Like I wouldn't have that vibe. Like I wouldn't think that we'd lose to every team. But when you're playing against like 5 of those next 6 games against teams that we have in the top 3, that's hard for any team to go up against. And when we didn't beat the Fever and struggled with the Lynx, it's tough. So, but yeah.
But yeah, give her some 4 and some 3 minutes, and I feel like that'll be a good way to integrate her. Maybe even possibly at the 5, wherever you can find the minutes.
At least,
like.
And again, if things are clicking,
That's
I'm fine with it. Like I'm like, if they want to integrate her in like Nas, that's fine. But if things aren't clicking like they were last time, you got to try new things. And I feel like she has too much athleticism to not give her a chance. So
it's wild to me, but that's
I agree with you. The 4 or 5 right now, like I'm not really seeing the. I could see the point, Jewel, but not like she's so new. It's not her primary position. I wouldn't want to do it there unless it's garbage time. Right now, I would lean towards the 4 or 5, like Amber was saying, especially if we have another game where, we get so dominated on the glass like we did this game. Like I don't see it a whole lot in the W where it's a double-digit advantage for one team.
Yeah, it's not often.
So
at least, it's very competitive this year, and it's gonna be.
But I hope I'm hoping the confidence changes on Tuesday, where like we go out and beat the Sky, and then we have a lot more confidence going to these 5 games, and we're not so gloomy feeling. But it's just a tough schedule. I do feel like we could beat any of these teams still. We have the talent to do it. It's just a matter if it's going to click.
Exactly.
And I really hope it does.
Yep.
I really think we have the roster to succeed. So
yeah, and we could always just be over dramatic, and I mean that's very, very possible.
And I would be so happy if we were. Like,
I mean,
again, if we're even 4 and 5, I'm feeling really good with the schedule that's coming up right now. Like if we win 3 of these next games, like this is the toughest part of our schedule. I'll be like, oh yeah, we're a playoff team, no doubt. We're good. We're fine. But if it goes less than that, then that's where we're going to be worried. So this week is huge in setting the right tone. It's the Sky and Aces this week. So,
and I'm going to be at the Aces game.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. You're at the Aces? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
And Ion, since that game's on Ion, please do not play headline news at halftime, and please give us the pregame coverage like you said you get. I know no one's listening from there probably, but I'm just saying that was really frustrating.
Not, but,
and then one of the games, I can't remember which one, we got brought back from halftime a little late where we missed the first couple seconds. Like, that's not good.
Oh,
it's not good. So.
I don't like that. I don't like that. We got to fix that.
So do you want to start with power rankings or going over our projections for players and stat leaders who did better in that?
We can do the stat leaders.
Stat leaders? Okay.
And then we'll do those power rankings.
Okay. Pull that up. So points. I won with Alicia at 39. Gray had 45. I was only 6 off. So.
Okay.
Rebounds, you had Cheyenne, so she won between the players we had. Alicia was actually the leading rebounder in the last 2 games. So, but you won that. Assists, we both had Alicia. It was Ari. Stocks, it was a tie between Howard and Parker with 5. We both had Coffee. And then combined points, you were like almost spot on. Alicia and Ryan combined for 76 points. You predicted 80. So pretty good. What you got for this week? Again, we're playing the Sky and Aces. Who is our leading point getter?
Man, I'm probably going to have to lean towards
Joel.
Alicia.
Alicia again? Okay.
I hope it's Alicia. Because I feel like she's the one that just can find her shot wherever. Like I think she's being more integrated into the offense more so than Ryan is, which is, I mean, it's a good problem to have, but I just feel like she'll be able to get the top points this time.
And how many points to combine between those two games?
Between those two games, I'm gonna say, who? Let's see. I gotta think who she's gonna be up against. Probably. I'll say she'll at least get 35.
35. Okay. I am going to go Ryan. I think she is going one of these two games. She is going to go absolutely off, and she's going to get over 30 points. She is not going to accept
I want it to happen.
Us going on this losing streak that we're worried about.
Nope.
She's going to alleviate those fears, and she is going to get a total, I will say, 47. So okay. 17 in the first game, 30 plus in the second one. So I'll go 47.
Okay, bold.
I hope I'm right.
I love it. I hope you're right too. Let's just be for real.
Okay, rebounds.
Man, I might have to go with the predecessor, man. Alicia been getting them boards, if nothing else. If she might be the only one, but she been out there boxing out. I love it. I'm gonna go with.
And how many?
How many between the two games? I'm gonna say 15.
15? Okay.
Yep.
I am gonna go with the player. I think there is a chance that they start. I do not think we're gonna have a change at point, but based off of Nas getting extra minutes, like she was leading the team in minutes at the 4 these last two games, and she's gotten 10 points plus. I think she gets the most run in those games, and she is the leading rebounder.
I would love that. I would love it.
I'm going to say 18.
Okay.
Okay, what about assists?
Alicia,
okay.
Yep.
How many?
It's going to be at least 10.
10?
At least.
Dang, that would be incredible.
I would love it.
I'm going to go Ryan. I think I called her an underrated passer early. It hasn't come together fully yet, but I feel like if this is going to come together this week,
Ryan,
I feel like that we're going to have more chemistry and the ball going around more. I'm going to say Ryan wins with 8.
Okay. All right.
And then last one, stocks.
I'm gonna say Ryan.
Okay. And how many?
And between the two games, I could see Ryan having about 9.
9. Okay.
Between the two games, yeah.
I haven't seen, like, Cheyenne's been consistent. Like, she's been in, like, the top 3 in pretty much every game. I'm going to go Cheyenne.
Okay.
And I'm going to go 8.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
Let's hope it goes well. I'm hoping for it.
All right. So let's do our power rankings. I am not happy to do the Atlanta one because, we just need to see more. So this is not what we want or think that we're capable of doing, but this is where we have them now. So.
Yep. It's week by week. Don't take too much stock in it.
Who do you have at 1? Anything change?
No. Absolutely not.
Definitely not.
Are whooping everybody. It's not even, well, except for that one game, it hasn't been close. And the Sparks, like, had everything going right. Like, they were getting their hands. And, like, it was an inspiring effort. The only thing that they didn't have going for them is Nneka didn't play in that game. It might have been a little different, but yeah. Hey, the Aces are looking like the monster. Yeah, no, they are the top team hands down right now. Hands down. Number 2, question. I hate it. You probably have them too, but they beat the Sun by a good amount this week. Yep, and that's still different. And they beat the Fever by a good amount. Had that game against the Mystics where I thought the Mystics were going to be the clear number 2 team. It hasn't happened yet. Yeah, I had the Liberty at 2. They moved up 2 spots for me. Yep, me too. I hate
Number
it,
3,
but here
who
we
do
are.
you have? Blaken, I know I'm booing too, but there's not a choice. There's not a choice. They beat the Sun by a good amount, but we're hoping that can change this week.
So at number 3, I have the Sun. I also don't like
Me
having
too.
them up there because you know how I feel about the Sun. But I mean, they've been playing like at least the number 3 team, sometimes the number 2 team. But you know, they're clicking on all cylinders really.
And they beat the Mystics in both games, unfortunately, in those
Yeah.
back-to-back. So
That was
again,
wild,
it's another one where there was no choice. Like it felt like 1 through 3 going off of results. It had to be those 3
Honestly,
teams.
it had to.
Now 4, go ahead and say your Sparks. Go ahead.
I actually don't have them that high. I don't.
Wow. Okay. Who you got at 4?
I don't have them that. Well, it's gonna sound a little crazy, but I still have the Mystics at 4.
Okay, I do too.
And the reason why is because I feel like they're just more talented and they're going to be able to figure it out. They're way too talented for me to push them any further down. Now, the next team, I didn't want to put them that high, but I still feel like the Mystics, even though they lost twice to the Sun, I still feel like they have a decent amount of room to grow.
And especially the first game, they should have won that one. Different decisions that are made, different players step up at the end. They win that game. The second one, it felt like it was the Suns, but that first one, they definitely should have had. And Lake and I agree, it's another team where elevated point guard play could make the difference in everything as far as rhythm. Because you got Shakira, you got EDD that are just lighting it up. Ariel has to get going, but she's been doing incredible on defense, so they're definitely
Slim's
still a home court advantage team. Slim too, yeah. So yeah,
they got some good pieces.
They're that top 4 was no brainer to me. Like,
yeah,
I still think Mystics are clearly a top 4 team. Who do you have at 5?
I got the Sky at 5.
Wow! For the first time in our short power rankings history, I have the Sparks ahead of where you have them.
Wow. Because that's where you have them?
Yeah.
I like it. I can't say that I
don't.
But
so let's start with your Sky at 5, though.
Well, they've been playing extremely well.
I agree.
A lot better than expected. Like, Elizabeth Williams has been playing out of her mind. That's really what's been keeping them afloat. Like, and it was a lot of questions about the post, and I remember thinking, like, even though Ewell didn't have a great season there last season in Atlanta, you know, she was sparingly used in Washington, I still believe that defensively, at the very least, she's gonna give you great production on the defensive end.
I agree.
Now, offensively, she actually cashing in some of the bunnies.
Yeah.
Like, that's all the scores on the perimeter, so like it's working. It's working now. I'm not sure how long, but I'm happy to see them doing well. I must say, I really do. I enjoy it. I've been enjoying watching it, and also Sika Kone.
Yes.
Wow.
I told you all.
You weren't
watch
lying.
out. I told you all she was a lottery prospect. If she hadn't gotten injured, we would have heard about her last season. And she's showing out. Like, I'm so happy for her, and happy she's on a team like the Sky where she's going to get that playing time. So, yeah.
I can see it.
So I'll start with your Sparks at 5, and then I'll talk about the Sky because I have them at 6.
Okay.
Okay. It was just such a great effort by the Sparks. Like, like without NECA, just the players that stood up. Lexi had a monster game. But just you can just see the cohesiveness that I'm wanting for the Dream. Like, oh, you got her in fantasy. She still wasn't there. I hate you, Lakin. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The Sparks, like, they just had inspiring efforts from a lot of different players, and when they get their full lineup back, like like you mentioned, they were playing without NECA. They've been playing without Azare. They played without JT. That second game did not mean a lot to me at all because they had Nia Cloud in that point guard who never had a start or significant minutes with the Sun, and she was having to do It just there wasn't a lot of hope in that one. It's hard to win without like an experienced ball handler. I'm not surprised. So
yeah.
So I just think they're really good. The Sky, the thing that impresses me is like it seems it's working at every position for them right now. Like the moves that Wade made are clicking, and I didn't think it was going to click this well. But like that backcourt of Dana, Court, Mabry, like they're all contributing. I hope Gardner's able to get back soon, but like it's just plug in and play. Like Smith has been playing really well. You mentioned E. Will, Kone plugged in really well. Anikwe's played well. Like they are just a cohesive unit right now, and they've been fun to watch. So
absolutely,
they are clearly a top 6 team again. And who's 6 for you? So this must be the Sparks.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And I must say that I'm extremely excited about how Lexi Brown is playing. Logo Lexi, sexy Lexi. I have always been high on her. That this has been a consistent thing for me, but to see how she's plugged into the system has me very excited because she's being used to her utmost potential. She is a shooter, okay? Give her, like, if you got her coming off the screens, forget it. Like, she'll need but that much space to let it go. And when she lets it go, like, no matter where she's at, she gonna knock it down. That's the reason I call her Logo Lexi. Like, she's been playing
and
incredible.
She was so good at that in that game. Yeah,
I
agree.
On both ends. And this is also one of my other unsung heroes is Sinead Ogumake, who I'm also very high on. I'm extremely high on. I always have. There was a reason that she was a number 1 pick. Like, if it had not been for injuries, we could be talking about her being one of the greats. Like, she was better than Nika in college. Like, it was crazy. But like,
I've seen the stats. Sinead was a little better.
She was like, she was. It was like, I'm like, I understand she's had like major injuries, and the fact that she's even playing is a miracle because she's had some major injuries that should have like sidelined her for the rest of her life, really. But like, to get back to having these great games, like 19-8 in that Aces game against like a crazy front court of Candace Parker and Asia Wilson, who play both ends of the floor. And you put up 19-8. That's a good sign. That's all I'm saying.
It really is.
It's a great sign. And once I feel like this week, with them getting back to being healthy, I feel like that bug, whatever that bug is gonna be hopefully fleshed out, and by Saturday they'll be ready to roll. So gotta miss it.
I like it. I was definitely higher on the Sky and Sparks going up. The Sparks moved up 1 for me, and the Sky moved up 2. So number 7 remained the same exact. It's been the same all season. So that's the only one besides the Aces that has stayed the same, and that's the Dallas Wings. I like their effort against the Sky. The Storm were a little feisty, but they did what they needed to do to win. Like, they're showing they're a playoff team. I like their overall rotations. Again, I was talking about in playback. I like how Trammell's been using her lineup. Like,
I told you about Trammell.
I don't have a lot of complaints.
I told you.
I don't think they're going to be like an incredible team. I still think they're going to get knocked out in the first round at this point, but
probably.
And Satu's been incredible, and I've loved that she's finally getting the playing time that we've been wanting her to get.
Man,
showing out like, and really quick,
I've been loving her play.
You might dog me, Chat and Amber.
What's going on?
But Enrique's passing has actually surprised me. If you go and watch her games, like, she's still putting out some outlandish shots. See, she's put some that I think she would have taken back, but she's actually added like a decent passing game to her game, and it's helping the overall offense. Crystal Dangerfield's been good too, but I've actually liked Enrique's game, which I hate to say with how the first game went, that little soccer incident.
Man, but she's had some rough moments.
She has, but
she's had some rough moments. But,
I feel like she's playing a better overall game this season, and she's integrating like that playmaking ability a little more often than she did last season. And it's helping the Wings overall. That's why Satu and Natasha are able to have such good games. And then, so who's your number 7?
The Wings.
Okay. This is the most similar power rankings we've ever had.
Honestly, it is because sometimes we be like on way different skills.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the wings. I told you, Trammell. Trammell. I was hoping she would get a crack at the Sparks job because she already had that camaraderie with the players. But yeah, like to see her get a shot like this and her like knocking it out the park so far has been great to see, and I'm super proud of her. But like yeah, like Arike, as much as I like this is all out of love. I do well. How should I say this? I don't hate Arike. Let's just put it
Okay.
like that. I don't hate Arike. I would like to see her take better shots, but honestly, it's very exciting to see her knock down those crazy shots when it's not against my team. I'll just put it out there because
Yeah.
she's exciting to watch, if nothing else. Because I'm like, man, ain't no way she gonna hit this, and she splashes it every time, like no rim at all, just the bottom of the net, and it's beautiful. Her step back is crazy, but does it annoy the shit out of me? Yes, it does.
Yes. Especially when they played us. I hope we're able to get revenge, but it's been clicking.
So.
Like, yeah. I was almost tempted to put them in the top 6, but I just feel like Chicago and LA showed a little bit more. But for the first time this season, I feel like number 7 is not too far behind. Like like 5 through 7, it's really close, and then there's a drop off from there. Who do you have at 8th?
I moved the Fever up a little bit.
I did too.
Yeah,
I moved them to 8
they're my
too.
number 8.
Yep. I think this is when it starts clicking for them. I agree. So what's your reason?
Well, Melissa finally got the lid off the basket. That's one thing.
Yes.
That's one thing. That's a big thing. Because she was shooting them out of games. The first 2 games. It was like, what are you doing? But, with them and Kelsey's always solid. Aaliyah is Aaliyah. Let's be clear.
Yes.
She is that girl. And she's continuously showing it. I don't know how many times I got to say it. Aaliyah Boston is going to eat. By the end of the season, she's going to be like, she's going to be a monster on the glass.
I am going to say something now.
Man, what's up?
I love Diamond. I love Horsley. You know how I love both of those players. But this is not a 3-player race anymore. This is Boston's. It's not.
It's a 1-player
I thought
race.
there was going to be more.
Nope.
Like
absolutely
stats
not.
being taken away with her playing with Melissa, and then like she was going to be
not
playing well, but Melissa was going to be taking that. But both of them are shining, and it's more than what I was hoping, especially last game. Again, I hate that it happened against the Dream, but they were so much fun, like feeding off of each other.
That was so fun to watch.
And Lakin, I will say that Grace Berger deserves more time. I thought she was really good in the minutes that she had. Like I think she deserves more of that time, and it will eat up some of those minutes from Wheeler and Walt Christie. Yeah. So. And really quick, I'm not going to go too much into the drama and stuff, but Lexi Hall is definitely a WNBAer, deserves to be here. We loved her game at AU. I know it was AU, but like she's someone that goes hard in every facet of the game. She's going to get it together. Everybody has cold spurts. Like the Dream games against the Mystics, Ryan was completely shut down in those games.
But then she came alive.
You can't take away the Rookie of the Year from that and everything. Like, people are just going to have cold games. There's times where they don't fall. Lexi, we liked her game overall. She, just wanted to touch on that. But yeah.
Same. Man, listen, I don't want to get mad, but I was upset by those comments. I really was, because that was uncalled for. But as far as the Fever, like, Leah...
Yeah, no, they're looking good.
She will continue to be that girl all season.
So
like, it doesn't
I would not be surprised. Yeah, I agree. And I wouldn't be surprised that what I had them in the preseason, they finished 6th, that they get it together more. Like, and they're only going to grow confidence after getting that first win off their back. Like, it's going to be huge.
It could be a trend upwards, I hope.
Number 9.
I got the Dream at 9.
Okay.
Because I feel like they're clearly more talented than the last 3 teams. and I still feel like they could turn around like that. Honestly,
again, I think they're a
really
top 6 team. If we're looking at rosters, we're a top 6 team. Like,
definitely
it's easy, but I do not have them at 9.
Ooh, but yeah. So we'll get to there, but I just feel like there's some questions that need to be answered. The quicker, the better.
I agree.
Got mad
and we
love
talked a
for
lot about them already, so we don't think we need to go
we
too
have.
much, but yeah.
But yeah, I love y'all. I just want to see it.
And
That's
again, we
all that
will
is.
immediately
This is all of the love.
start because we believe this team is capable of so much. We believe we're still capable of home court advantage, but right now it's not clicked, and we can't put this team in the playoffs that they lost to the Fever at home and had to make a huge comeback against the Lynx. And that's why I had the Mercury at number 9 right now. They handled the Lynx. Okay. They had that game in hand pretty much the entire time. They got blown out by the Sparks, but like they're doing what they need to do right now more than the Dream are right now. And I hope that changes after this week. But yeah, I have them at number 9. And then I have Atlanta at number 10. Again, a win over the Sky or Aces, and my tune changes really quick, and I have them back in the playoffs. Because, again, this team is so talented. Like, we want them to be competing for home court advantage. We know we can't. Like, but right now, just the results aren't there. I have them at number 10. Who do you have? Assuming it's
I have the Mercury at 10.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm just, I'm not sold on them yet. Like, I'm glad BG is having an incredible start to the 2023 season. I'm so glad that she's playing basketball once again. But the rest of the team, they need work. The roster needs work. Like Mo Jeff, I thought that she would play a lot better than she has, and I haven't seen much. At least, maybe she did better in the Lynx game. I didn't watch the Lynx game, but the first 2 games, I was like, I don't know. I don't like the fit. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see how this goes.
So
number 10.
This will sound a little weird for the next one, but there is a clear number 11 now. Before I was switching back and forth, Seattle is clearly number 11 now.
Clearly,
like they put in that effort against the Wings was really, really good. They Kia Nurse was knocking down shots. Jewel Lloyd was looking like herself. Magmagore, I know she can do more, but she still had a solid game. Like the pieces were coming together, and yeah, I feel a little more confident on them. They're going to be able to stay competitive more games. Still have them as a lottery team, but they are ahead of number 12. Oh yeah, and Turner, I want a little more from them. I don't think they should be in the starting lineup right now, but I've liked more of what I've seen from them. So
but yeah, Storm, I got the Storm at 11 too. It's not much to say about that. It's not much to say. Like it's a clear bottom. It gets a little muddled around the middle, but it's a clear bottom and a clear top right now.
And number 12, the Lynx are by far number 12 to me. I don't know what they're doing with their lineups day in and day out. I don't know what the purpose is behind it. The only way to read into it is they know they're going to be a lottery team. Let's just all be vibes. I'll put random players out. Like, let's go. That's what it feels like.
It's clearly a take. It's clearly a take. No matter what that lady says, it's a clear take. Don't let Reeve lie to you. She's good at it. Don't let her lie to you.
Dang, Lakin.
Lord.
But, yeah. And I wanted them to still keep Taylor Soul and Brea Beal. I'm still not over that for where this team is at. And they chose some veterans over. Like, again, there should be expanded rosters that shouldn't come to this many decisions having to be made if a team's going to be with a player's going to be with an organization or not. Just have to say that every time. But with how this team is, where they're trying to see who's going to be a part of their foundation, Dorcas should be getting more play time, and Brea and Taylor should have been a part of this team. It just doesn't make sense to me. And hopefully they do it better next season where it's more younger talent. They're building that foundation, and they're, just trying to build the next Lynx team in the future over the next couple seasons.
They'll be able to do it because you know who will be off the books. They'll have a lot of cap room to do that. So.
I'll end on this. the Lynx will do it once they make a certain change. So I'll leave it at that. If you know, you know.
Yep.
So,
if you know, you know.
But yep, we will be. Dang, we went an hour and 15 minutes. Whew. Okay.
I mean, it's easy to do. We had
a lot to talk about
today.
We really did. But Sky Dream tomorrow on playback. Be there. Hopefully, we get our confidence going up again.
I need a dub.
We want to feel good about this team again. We know it's possible.
We love you guys. Y'all are the whole reason
we really
we're here.
do. So
we love y'all. This is our love.
Just give us a win, give us some backing to say like, hey, we believe the Dream are this.
Hit the battery.
We just beat a team with like the Sky who have been playing good all this season so far. So
put the battery in my back. I want to talk all the junk.
It's true.
Give me a reason.
Because we were even talking a lot of good after the Lynx game. You give us a win over the Sky, and we're gonna have a lot of good stuff to say. So.
Yep, it's so fun. It's so fun to talk trash. Okay, so give us a battery. We're here for it. We love y'all.
Yep. Thanks everybody for being in the chat. Lakin, I hope you still somehow lose to me. I hate that you got Kone, but I'll talk to you all later. All right, bye.